Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a channeled message into the Divine Masculine Collective. I was once again up again this morning. It was like 4:04 a.m. and I kind of laid there for a little bit, receiving all kinds of downloads. And I was once again asked to share that within the spiritual community, the messages that came through. So it is this gateway of revolution. I was shown the number 49. 49 also breaks down to 13, which is the number of death, transformation, rebirth, and 13 is also linked to Christ consciousness. So it is this gateway of revolution is kind of what came forward, especially with this very potent Aries energy, which is leadership energy. It's masculine energy. It's the Yang principle. And we do have the new moon in Aries today. So it is like this spiritual ritual coming through when it comes to the potential of these cosmic forms that are coming forward in order for us to reach our highest principles. And we don't reach our highest principles simply for power. This is to bring this deep spiritual knowing of what is needed into the community when it comes to this law of necessity coming forward. So once again, Godhead Kali is working very closely with a lot of the divine masculines in the collective, and this revolution is perceived as necessary at this time as part of this gateway of initiation. And all of these energies, these cosmic energies, are bringing the understanding of this cosmic law to the surface in order to maximize the expansion that the masculine is going through at this time. And this acceptance coming through when it comes to the divine masculine's misuse of power, misuse of influence, and the energy is really insisting that the masculine take some action. So a lot of this helter-skelter energy that's coming through really has been created by the divine masculine. He's committed many acts of disorder, not only this life, but within some past life timelines. And the rejection of the divine feminine really is bringing a lot of oversensitivity to the energies as these cosmic energies synthesize between the twins. And I feel all of these principles coming forward are kind of forcing the masculine to accept that he truly has rejected this divine marriage with the divine feminine. And ultimately, this is a direct result of them not living in their truth, not living in alignment, and these hierarchies, these cosmic hierarchies that are kind of governing this great awakening within the collective are bringing forward deep emotional waves of grief. I actually had a very good, long, hard cry in the shower this morning, and it was just all of the pain of the collective coming forward. We look at the state of the world globally right now, and it's very heavy. It is very heavy, and I feel we're kind of being asked to place ourselves at the top of the hierarchy by standing in integrity, by standing in truth, and translating all of these cosmic energies into the physical reality. And the masculine has to embrace his personal power if he is to accept this death energy and reject the karmic once and for all in order to access all of these unlimited resources that are trying to come through. And they're being asked to own what they've done, not to blame anybody else, and to own just how insensitive they have been towards the divine feminine, everybody that they've really hurt throughout this process of them playing into these selfish energies with the karmic, not owning higher principles. And so in other words, the masculine needs to accept that they've brought these dark entities into their circle. They have to accept that they were not willing to stand by the feminine and support her. And I feel they're in this period of deep rest when it comes to this reformation within their social structure. So they're focused on, I think finances. I feel it is like this internal war between the head and the heart for the masculine. And if they are to come forward to restore the balance with the feminine, they're going to have to reject all of these karmic influences, and all roads do lead us home. Another song that kept playing in my head this morning, and I'm not a country music girl at all, was Garth Brooks' The Thunder Rolls, and I was shown like a lightning strike. So this is coming in very heavy, and all of these nervous fears surrounding the masculine of rejection. He fears that the consequence of his actions will lead to the feminine ultimately rejecting him, and all of this unpredictability when it comes to the future is really breaking apart the masculine at this time when it comes to this elimination process and this deep awareness that is leading to acceptance of this journey and the diversities that we kind of have to face along the karmic clearing. So, you know, the divine masculine's attempt to undermine the feminine for another really has come back to bear this heavy weight. And this darkness is coming forward with all of this insightful energy when it comes to all of these negative effects that the masculine has kind of produced in his life at this point in time. And he is being asked to step into the sage energy with the divine feminine, and these very extreme energies are asking the masculine to defend himself against this evil and to step into being a part of the greater good with this deep, insightful, sage expression of insight, and to stop undermining the cosmic forces and to begin to establish high moral values. So it is this energy of, you know, as the feminine steps out of the cosmic womb and births her own individuality with all of her cosmic genius energies, this is kind of asking the masculine to find his own inner inspiration, to step into empowerment like the feminine has, and to cut through all of this mental intolerance, which really is opening up this mutation gateway for this to take hold globally as part of this ascension journey. So expression is a great way to initiate new ways of thinking, new ways of doing. And I feel this voice inside the masculine's mind is saying he knows what he needs to do, but he has to find the courage to keep going forward and stop looking outside of himself, because he holds all of these insights from the inside. So I think there's like a different perspective coming forward when it comes to this transformation and wanting to come forward and communicate their pure essence clearly. But it's the fear of rejection that is truly holding the masculine back from stepping into these high moral values with the feminine and within the tribal unit. So I feel, you know, the masculine keeps waiting for the right time to speak up. And the more he waits to speak up, the further apart the twins kind of get. And I feel the masculine knows it's important to come forward and only speak the whole truth, and that scares him. That it's going to take 100% transparency with the divine feminine, which is conceptualizing as all of this extreme mental anxiety as he realizes that he didn't see clearly in the past, and he needs to kind of open himself up to this misunderstanding of how he so callously left the divine feminine and dismissed her. So it is this breakthrough energy coming through without a doubt, where we kind of have to maintain this new earth order when it comes to 5D earth and establishing justice throughout humanity. And we do this by expressing and transforming our inner truth into our own unique perspective. Once again, a lot of Hades energy, a lot of underworld energy coming through as the masculine understands this explanation coming forward from the cosmic energies, and this patience energy when it comes to the divine feminine waiting for recognition. I feel a lot of the feminines have stopped waiting and have released all resistance. I feel all resistance has been eliminated on the divine feminine's part, which is creating this depth of underworld energy in order for the masculine to gain this individual insight. So a lot of the masculines, I feel, are getting very impatient. They've enjoyed the lustful sweets of the karmic relationship, and they've really not accomplished much in their life since courting to that very karmic Jezebel energy. And inevitably, I feel this now has come full circle, and it's left a very sour and bitter taste in the masculine's mouth, because they lacked the depth to establish this deep emotional intimacy with the feminine, and they ran due to fear. So there's this big restructuring going on. I feel a lot of clairaudience has been restored for many in the collective, and we're kind of being asked to only listen to that inner ear, that unique inner voice of our higher self, and this will allow spontaneous action to be taken from this deep inner knowing and all of these new insights and new perspectives that are coming forward. So a lot of us, it does feel like a freakishly traumatizing energy when we come into these third eye visions and all of these spiritual gifts and all of these insights. And many of us have a hard time explaining energy. Energy is very difficult to put into words. And I feel we're coming into this deep mutative awareness where we're taking mold, we're taking shape, to reach the final countdown. And I'm being shown Rocky kind of running up the stairs and that final countdown. So a lot of these energies are conceptualizing with our deep intuitive insights, and we are all kind of being invited to bring this transformation forward for these new perspectives, for this new world that we are creating. And, you know, it is very difficult for many of us to speak authentically and then to listen authentically, to actually really hear what somebody else is saying to us. And it's really not our fault. It's all of this negative programming, all of these karmic blockages. And, you know, we can fix all of these wounds, but we kind of have to go into all of these genetic modifications within our DNA structure and protect ourselves from all of these undue karmic influences. And we absolutely have to release that fear of rejection, because what is truly meant for us will never pass us by. It might be bad timing, but, you know, it is within the separation of the journey that we truly get pushed beyond all of these limitations to step into our purest, authentic form as a soul, as a light being. And I feel a breakthrough is at hand, and all of these mental anxieties that are arising due to fear of communicating with the feminine, fear of emotional vulnerability, fear of the possibility of being rejected. So I think the masculine kind of has to release that fear of rejection. And I know a lot of feminines I've heard say recently that I've been working with, they don't want their counterpart back. And, you know, none of us really have all of the answers, and I can't say for sure. I know I'm at a place of peace in my life, and I can't say for sure either what that conversation will entail or how I'm going to feel after that conversation. So, you know, we do have a lot of deeply rooted past life energies that we have to kind of work through in order to embrace our own unique creative direction. And it's when we harness this primal life force energy from within, that's when we do have the potential to manifest anything in our life without any limitations. So we're kind of all being asked to fulfill our mission through interaction at the soul level within the spiritual community. And creation is independent of our own personal will. And with this moon energy, it just feels like this exaltation, and timing really is everything. And I know along the journey we get so sick of hearing divine timing. But divine timing allows us to go deep within the self-expression while we're patiently waiting, mastering the virtue of patience. And I feel a lot of instability in the masculine's life has now led to a deep distortion. And it's this vice versa energy coming up is what I feel. And what I heard was love is light. So it is it's the feminine being exalted from the contract is what I feel, released from the contract. And we kind of do have to be completely released and completely surrendered for that 0 point, for that clean slate. So I feel the feminine or the Venus energy has been exalted because she's embraced the symbolism of the beauty of the feminine archetype. And I feel many of the feminines are establishing a place of harmony because we have grounded our high moral values. We have tapped into these high ideals of enriching inspiration within our own life and with those that we are connected with. And this self-expression, you know, that we are owning, minus the conditioning of the programming, is really bringing forward this detriment in the masculine's life when it comes to these deep desires and passions to want to be with the feminine. But it's like they're paying their karmic debt because, you know, they're paying these karmic expenses because they did abuse creation in a past life, and they have been limited by these lustful desires with the karmic. So what I feel is the masculine is finding the drive and the deep need to focus on finding his authentic expression from the inside out. And a lot of these masculines have carried this burden for a very long time. They're comparing themselves to others, and that's what's kept them in this status quo energy of, you know, people pleasing. And if they want to live out their true creative nature, their true authentic individuality, they're going to have to absorb all of this truth, and they're going to have to own it if they are going to be able to attract the attention of the feminine again. And like I said, it's going to take complete and total transparency of their authentic self, of them being benevolently empowered, if the feminine, I think, will even consider looking at this from a new perspective at this time. Many of us have been through the throes of the death energy and spiraled several times over throughout the journey. Many of us, it's been years, and I feel this really has deeply impacted where we're kind of at. I know in hindsight, I look back and I thought at the very beginning, I did used to think this was a romantic connection and that we would have this happily ever after. And I've not seen or heard from my counterpart, like actually had a conversation since separation, pretty much. There's been a few reach outs, and I've always been met with rejection and lies, denial. We're coming up on about a year anniversary, and even a year ago on my birthday, April 26th, Taurus, his karmic called child protection services on me, with all kinds of slander, all kinds of lies. And when I confronted my counterpart about that, I was met with a reply from the karmic, basically saying, oh, we used to be friends. And I'm like, well, friends don't sleep with their friends' boyfriends and stuff. So, and there's never been like any ounce of accountability for that damage done. And, you know, today I'm on the 1-year anniversary of a spiral of manifestation. Last year on April 1st, it was Easter weekend. And I was taken to all kinds of higher realities. I was actually asked in the middle of the night. My children were not home. They were at my mother's. Actually, my oldest daughter ran away last Easter. And I did reach out to my counterpart. And once again, I was met with silence. This is what the damage of this denial has done. And I'm taking accountability. My daughter's in counseling, and she has been ever since. But like the damage done and the lack of acknowledgement, like I don't even know how you come back from that. You know, total transparency would be great. Acknowledgement, accountability, that would be a great start. But at what point do we just say, hey, is this really worth it, right? So I don't know. I think we're kind of being asked to find the pathway of least resistance right now. I think a lot of the feminines are looking very attractive when it comes to their work and really finding themselves. A lot of people are drawn to the feminine right now because of the position we are in and all of the work that we've done on this journey. I just feel like at what point does the accountability come? Last year on April 1st, I was taken to Rose Beach in Ontario, and it's over like, so where I'm at in Ontario, I'm surrounded by all of the Great Lakes, and so all of these bodies of water. So I'm like a half hour to an hour drive surrounding all of these bodies of water, and I always go to the water when the energy is heavy. And I was asked to go like out of a dead sleep in the middle of the night. I went fishing in the dark, and I was asked to go to Rose Beach. I was asked to go there. My energy was needed there. And I was still at that time making peace with my father wound. I was shown a couple of years ago on the journey that my father was going to have a heart attack and pass away, and that I kind of had to make peace with that, even though we're estranged. And so I went all the way out to Rose Beach in the middle of the night, and I don't get lost. I'm very good at finding my way around. And I was actually at Rose Beach, and I just felt lost. And then all of a sudden, this vehicle put their headlights on, so I pulled in, and I actually was at the beach. And I pulled in, and we were like face to face at the beach. And when I pulled in, they turned off their lights when we were like nose to nose. And when I looked, it was like a red Chevy or something similar, like my father's pickup truck. And it was my dad in the truck, or so it appeared. And he gave me this big smile, like as if to give me his blessings, because there's this one song that repeats in my head over and over again, and and it was like my dad would never give his blessing for me to get married until the day he dies, and I was also shown, my father's passing would create a shift for this reunion. And so he smiled big, and he smiled like he didn't have this pain in his heart. When I was in my 20s, my mother and father went through a divorce, which was very traumatizing for me because I've always believed in marriage, one-on-one committed partnerships. And that was like a shattering of that illusion for me when they went through a divorce. And it was almost like I seen my dad smile before the pain. And I lived with my dad when my mother and father split for the first year or so, and I watched my father drink himself to death every night. He was an alcoholic, and I watched the pain that caused him, and of course it caused me pain too. And then it got to the point where my father rejected me because I sound just like my mother, I look just like my mother, and it was just too much pain. So I've not really had a relationship with my father since they separated, but it was like I saw my father there, and so when I saw him smile, it definitely broke me down on the inside, and I sat there and cried. And when I finally had the courage to get out of the car to go up to the truck, it wasn't my dad in the truck, it was somebody else. And all this man said to me was, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Well, I think I might be lost. I'm trying to find Rose Beach." And he's like, "Well, you're here, hon." And I said, "Okay." I said, "I thought you were my dad." And he's like, "Well, I'm definitely not your dad." And I said, "I can see that." So I said, "Do you mind just pointing me in the direction to get back to town?" And he pointed me in the direction. And when I walked back to the car and I got in the car, the truck was gone. The man was gone. So, and it was not a hallucination by any means. It was like, I believe we have many watchers on the journey, that timeline shift and shift dimensions, and we're very much protected from the spiritual realm. And we do have watchers that, watch us along the journey, our progression. And so that was a very heavy moment. I also last Easter played a really good April Fool's joke. April 1st last year was Good Friday. And you think of Good Friday, the rising of the divine masculine, Jesus Christ, and all of that energy. And I'm really not religious, but I was raised hardcore Catholic. So it was all just very surreal, very emotional to go through. And we're coming on the year anniversary of that. So I'm not really sure where I'm going with that, but I came home and I purged and I cried and I purged and I cried. And I actually too, last Easter, the girls wanted Christmas for Easter. So on April Fool's, I decorated the whole house for Christmas, and with their Easter baskets and everything like that. And definitely not too many people thought that was funny. I thought it was funny, and it actually snowed last year on April 1st, and it was snowing again this morning. So I feel this coldness in the heart is coming up kind of for this great thaw also is kind of what I feel. So, and a lot of throat energy has been clearing. I've not really had any issues with my throat chakra, and it's been a few months. There was a few months back, I actually completely lost my voice. And I feel this self-sabotaging energy kind of needs to be addressed. We kind of have to go into this deep pain and these karmic attachments to understand the hurt in order for this release, because the twins are here to rewrite history, rewrite destiny, and to heal these past life wounds once and for all. And I kind of feel that's where the masculine is at that rock bottom. But I do want to pull a few cards. I'm not even sure where to start. We'll start with the shaman deck, the hunter of death, the shaman of loss. So it is the death and the loss. I think a lot of the masculines are losing a lot of security in the energy, a lot of faith in the energy, spiraling when it comes to this illumination. But the loss is where we go into these shaman gifts. And I feel like the masculine's being hunted by these spiritual cosmic energies to embrace this death. And there's a lot of reflection when it comes to fear versus love. And that's the masculine's challenge at this time. That's what's created all of these unnecessary boundaries, is the fear of love, fear of losing love. And this reflection is really needed as part of these challenges to break free from these boundaries. That's interesting. Bull energy, Taurus energy. My divine counterpart is a Cancer. He's actually in my 5th house. My 5th house is also Cancer. So, you know, it doesn't matter how much pain that man has caused me. He's my sunshine on a rainy day. A lot of challenges when it comes to the shadows of the past coming back to haunt the masculine for this rebirth. And he's in deep need of nurturing from the feminine, which is in turn creating this drive to come forward for this reconciliation is what I'm feeling. And this Aries new moon really is bringing all of these energies to the surface, kind of for like that last release, to illuminate this journey towards this new pathway. So the song energy. So I do receive a lot of telepathic messages from my guides and my counterpart through music. And that was a big part of my healing journey. A lot of songs unlocked a lot of these Akashic keys when it comes to these past life memories. And it allows you to flow and purge through the emotions. The music will kind of stimulate a lot of these Akashic keys. So I do recommend like just putting the music on. You know, there's nothing better than a good long drive in the car by yourself, cranking the tunes. I also, you know, for a good throat chakra clearing, I do highly recommend a good drive in the car and a good long hard fuck at the top of your lungs. I'm very spiritual, but I'm not opposed to swearing, and there's nothing that beats a good old fuck when you're kind of in the throes of all of this truth that's coming forward. So I do feel the masculine does have a lot of divine ancestral protection around him as he goes through this spiral journey of truth, a lot of truth when it comes to the path coming forward, and a lot of foresight coming forward. So let's get some tarot, and I chose the Mythic Tarot, and that's where the masculine's at in that devil contract, quartered to something very toxic, very codependent, chained to the devil. And that's what we're here to break, is these Jezebel contracts. And so I kind of feel he's been in this illusion, trying to find the truth, digging through the fog, digging through the confusion when it comes to that karmic feminine energy. And look at this. I never noticed that before. The karmic does have the chains around the divine masculine, preventing him from stepping into leadership. It's like she's got the masculine like a puppet on his string. And it's kind of time to learn this wound, the Chiron energy, and that's coming through very strong. We're in the year of healing these identity wounds once and for all. And once we heal the self-identity wound, then we can heal the Chiron wound that we each hold beyond that identity wound. So a lot of stormy emotions, a lot of passionate love and hate coming up. And then we get the crossroads, and there's that Chiron energy in the cave. So the masculine's been in the cave, needing to come out of the dark. When it comes to this brand new beginning, the Ace of Cups, the feminine's embraced her authenticity, and she's got a great big freaking cup of love. Like, it is the Holy Grail chalice And I think get ready for a Tower. The masculine's going through a major internal shift when it comes to the divine feminine. And I also feel a lot of the feminines are reaping their harvest. Interesting, the poppy. I actually closed out my karmic cycle with my ex on 11/11, on the November 11th gateway portal in 2019. And my father's birthday is also 11/11. And I feel the feminines embrace the crowning, and it's kind of time to reap the rewards of all of your hard work. And I feel a lot of Atlantean timelines are coming up to be cleared. And I do feel the masculine's barreling in like a ram with a lot of passion. He wants that victory and success. He wants to come out the other side of these challenges as that victor. Another ram energy. So just ramming through the fog is what I feel, the challenges, and the sun is about to rise again as this new passion has been sparked. But we got to look at it this way. He's coming in like a page and you're an empress. So it's like the masculine's in this beginner's mindset is what I feel, this beginner's mindset. So let's put all the cards back and see what needs to come through. But it's definitely, the past has come back to haunt the masculine tenfold is kind of what I'm feeling. And there's really no escaping the energies. It's kind of time for us to feel it and heal it once and for all. So we'll see what else needs to come through. There's that Four of Cups. The masculine's not wanted to talk about the third party. And there's two women and a man sitting at a table, and all four cups are upright, and nobody's wanted to talk about this. I'm also getting like ancient Greek timelines coming through. It's kind of time to have that talk at the table about the spilled cups. Couple of fours. And fours, I don't know if you can see them now. The sun's kind of shining in. Let the sun shine. Fours are all about stability, foundations, healing. And, you know, the masculine's been in this deep state of suppression, depression, not wanting to talk about the spilled cups. In this state of, you know, prolonged grieving over the third party interference. And now all of the cups are spilled, but the one Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail cup that the divine feminine holds. And I feel because he's refused to talk about this, all the shadows of the past to come forward, and all of these emotions are spilling all over the floor. And it's really created a lot of challenges because it's kind of time to face this and to walk the walk of shame, the hall of shame. And that's kind of what's happening is he's going through the karmic trenches, walking the hall of shame, the walk of shame, you know, when it comes to choosing the wrong lover and going towards a very karmic contract that is turned into like a prison cell of his own making, a lot of combative energies. And this is in turn really creating that karmic rebalancing. The truth always, always, always comes out. And I do feel the masculine knows it's kind of time to quickly move towards balance and harmony and to bring forward what he was not willing to give to the feminine before. And I feel he's coming back begging and sitting in that truth with the King of Swords. And he's got all of the tools that he needs with the Magician. And this Magician is at the crossroads with the Two of Pentacles in regards to what the hell do I work on? And a lot of disillusionment, a lot of confusion. And the angels are saying, it's that cup there that you didn't choose, that you're supposed to choose. And I feel he's at the mercy of the divine right now. And I feel he's being forced into independence and to feel this betrayal on his heart in order to move to calmer waters towards this spiritual union. And the moon energies really are having a lot to do with these energies. And there's the feminine. I feel the feminine's poured that cup of love out. She's not giving any more to the masculine. She's pouring into her own cup. And the masculine's on his knees. And I remember being taken to my knees, having to face that karmic judgment, that awakening, when it comes to the lies, the secrets, the deception, the thieving, the trickery, just blatant selfishness. And there is a brand new opportunity to begin again, I feel, with the Ten of Cups and the Fool. But the masculine has to release all of this past baggage and take that leap of faith. And to honor the feminine, to honor her, because the feminine's up on a pedestal now. She's purified, she's cleansed, and the masculine is being told it's time to take action. I feel like he's got like all these skewed perceptions of self coming forward that he's kind of working his way through when it comes to this brand new beginning. So I do feel, get ready to receive a message very, very soon, as the masculine comes out of this death and this rebirth process, needing to take that first step to break free from the karmic attachment when it comes to these higher spiritual unions. We got the Hierophant and the Two of Cups. And this Two of Cups, there's only one cup. There's only one cup. And this is how the feminine has felt on the journey, chained with no way to walk away, but to give yourself that self-love to fill your cup. And I do feel there is going to be a new opportunity to, you know, bring these higher level of commitments together, but it's gonna take facing that deep inner wound once and for all, the wound of the Jezebel spirit. So the house, yeah, you know, the masculine let rats get in the mix of this foundation, piranhas, and there's that death energy coming through. And he's in this house of maze, having to face all of these skewed perceptions of self and facing the fear when it comes to taking a risk towards the divine feminine, closing out this cycle once and for all. So we'll see what else needs to come through. Oh, that come out reversed. The masculine knows his ships are sailing away. I also feel time's up. All of these secrets are coming to light. We got the ship in reverse, the moon in reverse, and, you know, all of this has been revealed now. And the masculine wants to come back and revive this romance, is what I'm feeling. Wants to send a letter, wants to bring you flowers. That's interesting. The last time when I broke up with my counterpart, it was on Valentine's Day of 2019. And he did bring me a dozen roses, and I broke up with him. But I knew there was something off. My intuition said there was something off, and I did find out about the affairs and the other women afterwards. But I feel, you know, after the storm comes the rainbow, and the masculine's really looking intently at all of his shortcomings, because spirit's in his ear saying, get away from that karmic snake. She's no good for you. It's time for this death and this rebirth, and to return to your true love, to take that leap of faith, no matter how scary it is. It's kind of time to go and see her at the house. And I also feel the masculine is in poor health. Where he's at, that foundation is dark. He feels like a prisoner, and it's kind of time to face that final judgment. He's in God's courthouse now when it comes to the betrayal of the privileged lady of the divine feminine. And his wealth lies in returning the balance. And he's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. That was my great fortune, and I threw her away. The karmic took the masculine, thieved, and, you know, he's been paying that karmic debt, that karmic imprisonment. And if he's to come forward in high honor, he's definitely going to have to break free and to come and face the feminine face to face, is what I'm feeling. We'll get a few more messages, and we're going to grab some divine doorway and starseed messages. Just the one energy, the gift. He wants to come forward with a gift. He sees you as his main woman, and he's deeply concerned that maybe it's too late for this courtship. You know, he didn't treat the feminine fair. I think he's maturing. He also knows it's going to take a lot of hard labor, a lot of hard work. I also feel the masculine might even be experiencing a job loss, poverty, the death of this old career, and maybe the karmic feminine, the false person, has been the one to kind of force the masculine into poverty. That's not going to be for everybody. Choice. So it's like decision time. The masculine has to make a choice, and all of these higher cosmic energies are guiding the masculine on his journey in the direction of the divine feminine. But he's deep within this inner world, and his external world right now is a reflection of all of this distortion. in his inner world. And this is where he's going to have to face these adversities in order to expand into this spiritual light, into the spiritual wisdom. So a lot of cosmic energies, ascension. Oh my gosh, they're flying. Courage. The masculine's being asked to live life fearlessly with courage, strength, and determination to come forward in that co-creative process with the divine feminine. We are here to be creatives. We are here to be those witnesses and to unfold all of these limitless possibilities as a creative soul. I think he's looking at the feminine, seeing her as absolutely amazing, magnificent, and unique. And most importantly, divine feminine, I do want to say you are enough. You are always, always enough. And as we kind of embrace this inner alchemy, the masculine can achieve to react with fear, react to the fear with love. So a lot of ascension energies as the collective is evolving to these higher states of consciousness, and we are ready for this. So you're going to have the courage to go forward. Many of us are earth guides. Many of us, our sacred calling is to simply love and be loved. And there's definitely something coming to fruition. So rest assured, everything that you have been manifesting, divine feminine, will come into fruition. And you're kind of just being asked to step back and be the observer as we witness the collective going into the divine matrix of life at this point in time. And this is why many of the feminines awakened first, to be those earth guides. So we do have a lot of divine guardian protection. There's no need to be scared. We are being led onto the right path, onto the path of joy, but we're going to have to trust in the universe. Look at that, 1111. It's really time to forgive and forget. So when you see numbers and doubles, synchronicities and twos, that is guiding you towards love and what is truly meant for you. And the masculine is going through this deep spiritual ritual of cleansing all of these past pains and lies that he told in order to arise and to awaken this lion heart energy. And in the past, I don't think it was the right timing. The divine masculine wandered and was led astray. And now everything is kind of coming full circle in the energies. And in the silence is where we embrace our skills, our talents. And the masculine's challenge now is to unpack his mind of all of this clutter and to wander towards what lies deep within the dark, deep within the shadows. And if he doesn't take this leap now, it's like he'll crawl back and hide in the shadows for the rest of his life. So the art of life. There's really a sacredness in this journey. When we activate our light body, our aura of these invisible energies, and we embrace being bold in our own skin, that's when we can love the dance with this journey. So whatever you've been dreaming about, you're just being called to allow your heart to roam free without any expectations, completely surrendering, because if you can dare to dream it, you can manifest it in your life. So get ready to discover your true spiritual sacred path, because there are people on this earth waiting for us. We are one universal tribe, and it's time to learn these lessons, to find the will, to break free from survival mode is kind of what I'm feeling. And where do we begin? We begin right here. We begin right now. We begin with that very first step. So fear not the unknown. Embrace the moment and begin now and begin here. And that's what I have for a Divine Masculine energy reading for the Twin Flame Collective today. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a Twin Flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.